Dear autistic women, I would like you to gather around here and I want to tell you a story, especially if you're late diagnosed, as most of us are, because we have always been taught that we were never included in the studies. We were taught that no one even considered that women could have autism, but I am here to tell you that, in fact, that is a lie. It was not that we were forgotten. In fact, we were erased. You see, in the Western world, we attribute the discovery of autism to two men, Dr. Leo Kramer and Dr. Hans Asperger, who discovered autism in 1943. But who you likely haven't heard of is the psychiatrist that was studying this almost 2 decades prior to their discovery, a psychiatrist by the name of Grunya Sukaireva. You see, this woman was cold. See, her work in 1924 was so accurate that it matches the current criteria for the DSM-5, which is our most current diagnostic manual, and we're just now recognizing her almost a century later. You see, she included both boys and girls in her studies, and what she realized that through all of these children, they each had a preference for being in their own inner world. She even described what we now know as spiky profiles in current days, stating the following. All 5 also showed a preference for their own inner world, yet each of them has their own peculiarities or talents. One was an extraordinary gifted violinist, but struggled socially. Another had an exceptional memory for numbers, but couldn't recognize faces. Yet another had imaginary friends who lived in the fireplace. You mean to tell me she knew about my imaginary friends? So you may be questioning, if this woman was so amazing and she did so many different things, then why am I just now hearing about it, especially from a random black woman on TikTok? Some of you may already know that it's probably because she was a woman, and you would be only half right. It was also because she was a Jew. In fact, if we want to get messy about it, some scholars actually believe that Dr. Hans and Dr. Asperger's had ties with Germany. And that was another reason why there would be no way that they could actually attribute their discoveries to a woman, especially not a Jewish one. Others believe that these ties to Germany were just a myth, and there was just no way that they could actually attribute their work to a woman because it would illegitimize it. So what did they do? They erased it. And this is why everything that I do for the women, the witches, and the autistics. Because we live in a world where our very existence is a threat. The fact that we enjoy living in our inner world, the fact that we're creative, and the fact that a lot of us are actually extremely intelligent is a threat to the very society that relies on us to just be robots. Being in your own world is actually very feminine because they would prefer for us to be in the physical one, grunting away day after day, 9 to 5.